You know that feeling when you're constantly juggling a dozen things in your head at once? Yeah, you are not alone. So many of us are right there with you. So today, we're going to talk about a really practical tool that can help quiet all that mental noise and, just give you back some breathing room. Because this is the Busy Woman's edition, and we need it. Wow. Does that one hit home or what? For me, it really does. See, we're not just doing all the tasks, we're the keepers of the entire family operating system. It's us. We're the ones remembering the meals, the doctor's appointments, the permission slips, the family birthdays, and all the logistics of who needs to be where and when. It all lives right up here in our heads. That feeling of remembering everything, well, there's actually a name for it. This constant, nonstop background processing that runs our lives and our families, it's called the mental load. And let's be really clear about this. It is not just the physical work that leads to burnout. It's this invisible thinking work, this endless project management of life that just quietly drains our energy. It's all the thinking and the planning and the worrying that happens completely behind the scenes, day in and day out. But what if you could offload some of that? What if you could just hand some of it over? This is where we're going to shift from talking about the problem to a really powerful, practical solution. We're going to talk about using ChatGPT, but not as some complicated tech thing. Think of it more like your own personal assistant. I know what you might be thinking. The idea of learning a new tech tool can feel like just one more thing on the to-do list, right? But stick with me on this. Think of this less as technology and more like a simple assistant that you can just talk to. It's absolutely brilliant for taking all those messy, swirling thoughts in your head and turning them into an organized, actionable starting point for those times you're just stuck. All right, let's get into the good stuff, the specifics. We're going to look at 10 real-life ways this second brain of yours can start lightening your load, literally today. And we are not talking about abstract ideas here. This is about tackling the real stuff that fills up our days. From managing our homes and dealing with tricky communication, to organizing our work and just making a decision. It's all about streamlining that life admin that can feel so relentless. So let's dive into a few key areas. Okay, let's start at home. Think about the big daily drains on our energy. For meal planning, it just ends that what's for dinner dread. Instantly. For family logistics, it gets the schedule out of your head and onto a list, so you're not the only one holding the master plan anymore. And for those big chores, it can give you a tiny, manageable plan for those days when you look at a messy room and just want to turn around and walk away. That clear stopping point is a game changer. Now for the emotionally heavy stuff. How many times have we spent hours, literally hours, just composing a difficult email in our heads, or put off setting a boundary because we didn't know how to say it without feeling guilty? This tool can prep you for those important calls, and it can give you a first draft, a script that is clear, kind, and firm. It saves an unbelievable amount of emotional energy. Okay, so theory is great, but let's get really practical. Now that we've seen the what, let's get to the how. Here are 3 prompts you can copy, paste, and use the minute this is over. This is your immediate action plan. This first one, this is for those days when your brain feels like it has 50 tabs open and you are completely overwhelmed. You just dump your entire messy, chaotic to-do list right in, and it gives you clarity. It tells you what matters now, what you can do for a quick win, and, this is my favorite part, what you can officially give yourself permission to ignore for right now. Here is your new best friend for those awkward messages you've been putting off. You just give it the basic situation and what you need, and it helps you write something that gets the point across without being harsh. And did you notice that last part? Avoid over-explaining? It's like a built-in reminder for us to just be concise and confident. And finally, the ultimate weapon against that relentless daily question. You tell it what you already have in your fridge and pantry, who you're feeding, and any other rules. In seconds, boom, you get a plan. This one little trick alone can free up so much mental space every single week. Okay, before you dive in and start delegating everything, let's quickly cover a few best practices. This is just to help you get the most out of this tool while using it smartly and safely. So the big takeaway here is to just be mindful. Keep super sensitive personal data out of it. Use it to prepare for important appointments, not to replace the actual professionals. And always give the final output a quick read-through to make sure it really sounds like you and says exactly what you mean. It's your assistant, but you're still the boss. So, I'll leave you with this question. Just think of one thing right now, one small task that's been rattling around in your head. Maybe it's that email or that meal plan or that completely overwhelming to-do list. What is the very first thing you're going to hand over to your new second brain so you can get a little bit of that precious mental space back for yourself?